The soldier who fought both wars. It's strange to think that before Adolf Hitler became one of history's most infamous figures, he was just another soldier, a young man caught in the mud, fear, and chaos of World War I. But the story of his time in the trenches isn't just a war tale. It's the beginning of something much darker. Born in Austria in 1889, Hitler wasn't even a German citizen when the Great War erupted in 1914. Yet, when conflict broke out, he rushed to volunteer for the Bavarian Army. Maybe it was the excitement, maybe desperation, but whatever drove him, it set off a chain of events that would eventually change the entire world. He joined the 16th Bavarian Reserve Infantry Regiment, the List Regiment. It wasn't long before his unit was thrown straight into the fire. Hitler saw action in Belgium during the First Battle of Ypres, one of the bloodiest early battles of the war. It was there that the boy from Austria faced the grim reality of industrial warfare, mud, fire, and death at every turn. Eventually, Hitler's role shifted. He became a Meldegänger, a messenger, one of the most dangerous jobs in the army. He carried vital information between the trenches and headquarters, sprinting across battlefields under constant shell fire. His position meant he wasn't always in the front line's worst spots, and that drew criticism later. Some of his comrades mocked him, calling him an Etappenschwein, a rear pig, someone thought to be avoiding the thickest fighting. But messenger duty was far from safe. Many who took that role never made it back. Through years of war, Hitler survived countless close calls. He was even lightly wounded once, nearly shot in the arm. For his service, he was awarded the Iron Cross, Second Class, and later, First Class, a rare honor for someone of his low rank. It was a moment of pride he'd carry for the rest of his life, even decades later, when the world would see him again, standing before armies much larger than the one he once served. But in 1918, as the war was collapsing, fate struck again, and this time it was almost symbolic. In October near Ypres, Hitler claimed he was caught in a British mustard gas attack. The burning gas blinded him temporarily. He was rushed away from the front and taken to a hospital in Passewalk, deep in Germany. There, as he lay helpless, news arrived that Germany had surrendered. The armistice was signed. Imagine it. A man who devoted 4 brutal years to war, now blind, broken, and hearing that his nation had fallen. According to Hitler's later writings, that moment changed him forever. He described it as a spiritual awakening, the birth of his mission. But not everything about that story is certain. For decades, historians accepted the gas injury as fact. Recently, though, evidence suggests something different, that Hitler's blindness may not have been caused by gas at all. Some medical reports point to hysterical amblyopia, a psychological condition, temporary blindness triggered by trauma, not chemicals. The records that could prove it one way or another were destroyed long ago. But the possibility that his blindness was psychological, born from mental collapse, not mustard gas, adds a chilling twist, because it suggests that the man who later projected strength and domination might have first been broken by fear. After the war, Hitler returned to Munich, disillusioned, unemployed, and surrounded by chaos. Germany was defeated, its empire gone, its people angry and divided. Among the veterans, a dangerous idea began to spread, the belief that Germany hadn't truly been defeated on the battlefield, but betrayed from within, the stab in the back myth. And Hitler, the wounded soldier, believed it completely. That belief became the foundation of everything he would later stand for. His wartime experience gave him credibility among veterans and nationalists. He wasn't just another politician. He was one of them, a man who'd suffered, bled, and been blinded for Germany. Whether his gas story was fully true or not didn't matter. It felt true, and it made him a hero to those desperate for someone to blame. Hitler turned his pain, his humiliation, and his bitterness into fuel, and what began in the trenches of Ypres, the gas, the blindness, the defeat, all of it became the seed for the next great conflict. It's haunting to think that one wounded soldier from the First World War would rise to lead the Second. The same man who once carried messages through muddy trenches would one day send millions of soldiers into battle. 2 wars, one man who lived through both and made sure the second would be far deadlier than the first.